Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know
Welcome
that you
to a
said
new
you don't
episode
think
of
of me,
Stealing
but
Home, the
what
most
you're doing
unserious
knows
show in
time
baseball, brought
different.
to
What
you
you're
by
drinking, we
your
can go
favorite
pour
and
one.
the
Tell me what
best
you're
brother and
thinking,
sister duo in baseball. I'm Lisa, and this is my magnificent brother Anthony.
Great word. Great use of words.
You're welcome. Loving the 5 o'clock shadow. Excited to get into this talk because this is it, babe. We hit 162. We are in official postseason baseball. It is here.
Yep. It is here. If you like what we do, we're going to be posting episodes. We're probably going to kick it into high gear here. It's October, baby. So I'm excited. Very excited. So if you like what we're doing here, go ahead and subscribe. We will do a show at least once a week, but with October baseball, probably going to be doing it a lot more than once a week. I'm already planning Friday after the wild card series. We're going to be dropping a show
Okay,
Friday.
I was gonna ask, yeah.
Are you
Okay.
going to be able to do that? Is it a mystery? Maybe?
Yes, but I might look a little bit different. Guys, look, I'm sorry. Fall is a very busy time in my life, always. So, we're just
busy
gonna
for me
take
too.
baseball on the road.
It's busy for me too. I'm on the couch watching baseball. It's very busy. I have a lot of games to watch. We'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about how the season ended, how the regular season ended, who's in, who's not in, and what we can look forward to next week. Actually, not next week. It's tomorrow. It is tomorrow. So, it's here. Playoff baseball is here. Now, before we rip it, not to make a joke, but not before we rip it, rip to Pete Rose. Rest in peace, Pete Rose. This just happened. I was shook.
Yeah.
I was shook.
Kind of threw us off a little bit, I think. Like, we were not expecting this.
Yeah, I mean, you never. I guess I don't know, but you hear people die all the time. Pete Rose is one of my he is my favorite baseball player ever. Pete Rose is my favorite baseball player, and I know he's a jerk off. I know he's an asshole. So, whatever, dude. I don't care. I'll go down and say that no one has done more for the game of baseball than Pete Rose. No one has done more for the game of baseball than Pete Rose. The way he played it, the way he played the game, he didn't have all the talent. He didn't have all the skills, but he hustled his way into the major leagues, and he was a hustler and a grinder, and he played the game the right way, and he was a winner. And he's the hit king. He has the most hits in Major League Baseball, and his chase for that really helped baseball get on the map again in like the 80s. So Pete Rose is Mr. Baseball. Rest in peace, Pete Rose. Rest in peace, my favorite player. Rest in peace, one of the best players in baseball. I was shook. I don't know what you thought. I don't know if this means as much to you as it does to me, but this was sad for me.
No,
and
I
my
mean,
dad, too. And our dad.
It was only in the sense of, now I'm definitely aware of Pete Rose and all the things that happened. I did a video on betting in case anyone wants to go check that out. It was in our extra innings series. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just more up on Pete Rose, I guess I could say. And so it makes me sad because I think I've become one of those people that does believe that he should be in the Hall of Fame, and I think it's a crime that he's not. So, the fact that this is the closure that we're gonna get,
It's
doesn't
not
feel
closure.
right.
This isn't closure. It's messed up. Everyone knows, and watch them put him in the Hall of Fame. It's messed up that he didn't get in when he was alive, and it'd be a slap in the face. And they already slapped him in the face, but it'll be a slap in the face if within the next 5 years they put him in the Hall, and they still should. But it's just messed up to me. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
I kind of take the opposite opinion. I think they probably won't put him in the Hall of Fame, and him being, now having passed, I think will give them like just, oh, well, no one's who's gonna really talk about it as much anymore because he won't be around to kind of make his case, and I think unfortunately the story might die. So
It
we'll
won't.
see.
This will never die. I mean, I don't think you really fully comprehend the impact Pete Rose had on baseball. His record will never be broken. No one will ever beat his record.
Yeah, I mean,
he caught Ty Cobb. That chase was, and just the way he played. I mean, I grew up. I feel connected because I grew up on stories. I mean, the Reds used to spring train in Tampa, as you know, and Pop used to tell us stories all the time about him and his best friend growing up, Lenny, used to ride bikes all the way down to Reds land where they spring trained, and they'd go as like 12-year-olds watch Pete Rose hit batting practice like from 20 feet away, and Johnny Bench and the entire Big Red Machine, and you had Hall of Famers on that team, and Pete Rose was probably like the captain, not official C on this jersey, but he was the captain of that team. and the reason why they won a lot of World Series. So rest in peace, Pete Rose. I know he's a complicated person, and in many ways a very simple person, you know, but and he has his
Hey,
faults.
we all are.
He has his
Nobody's
faults.
perfect,
Exactly.
but he was a good baseball player,
Yeah,
so he will
that
be
you can
remembered. And
that you cannot
sorry to his
deny.
family.
All right. Well, that just happened. I felt like I had to say something about that. That's my favorite baseball player ever, and it was just out of nowhere. So, with that being said, let's look at how the regular season ended with what happened during the midweek. I mean, we had a lot of teams that were still in it in the middle of the week, and let's just gloss over because I really want to talk about playoffs. But the
Yeah.
White Sox swept the Angels, and they were trying to fight. I'll start with the White Sox, what we all want to hear. They swept the Angels. They were trying to stay alive. They were trying not to be the worst team in history, and then they ended up getting swept by the Tigers in the weekend series. So they did become the worst team in history, officially most losses. You had the Twins, and I'm upset that the Twins looked terrible in their games against Miami. Actually, they lost that series. I had them as winning it. They actually lost that series. But they looked terrible. They're out of the playoffs. Same thing with the Diamondbacks. I mean, they didn't look terrible. Just the Padres beat them. So the Diamondbacks lost to the Padres. They're out. Braves and Mets had a really good game. So the Mets clinched it. I sent you the highlights. I don't know if you saw it, but the game.
Yeah, no, I watched.
The
Yeah.
game today was crazy between the Mets and the Braves. They end up getting in. Just back and forth game late. It looked like it was going to be low scoring, and then just busted wide open in the late innings. Lindor hits a big home run, clutch home run.
Bomb.
And it's starting to bring up a conversation. People are starting to say, is Lindor the MVP over Ohtani?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I personally do. I know that you're an Ohtani fanboy, but I think
You're also an Ohtani fan, girl. You're
am.
weird with this. You just don't want to see him in the playoffs.
I am. He's super cute and he's a great baseball player, so what's not to like? But yeah, I mean, I think Lindor, it's him who has the meeting with the Mets in May, I believe, that starts them getting the ship back together and writing the course, so to speak. Also obviously Grimace. Maybe Grimace is the MVP. But I think it's him who gets a lot of the credit for what's going on with the Mets, as far as like the team cohesion. And so between how he's been playing and the storyline with the Mets, I mean, I could definitely see it.
I can see it. The only problem is Otani's 50-50. First ever player to do that. How can you take the MVP away from him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, look, I don't think we're gonna agree on any conversation.
Well, I'm not looking for agreement. I'm just saying. That's the other half of the pie. Is that a saying? The other side of the moon. I don't know. I'm
Side
making
of
my
the
own
coin?
saying. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And the guy hit
you
50
can-
home runs and stole 50 bases. What has Lindor? I mean, other than helping
I
Lindor
guess.
win, Lindor's batting 273. I mean, Otani's in the 300s, hitting jacks.
Well, then you can have the conversation about Judge too, because
Well, he's
Judge
different
is
league,
kind of
totally
like.
different league, totally different league.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, if Judge was in the National League too, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's my
Sorry,
problem.
I was just comparing players in my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I see the argument. I still say it's Ohtani. I mean, but yeah, Lindor. Not to say Lindor. I mean, Lindor has willed the Mets to where they are now. So that's
Yeah, essentially, like through the sheer power of will, that man
And
has gotten
Grimace.
the Mets
and Grimace.
into the playoffs. We don't know. Maybe Lindor brought Grimace here. We'll find that out in my series. To the person who commented, I forget the username, but about putting out the Mets video soon.
It's Maven or something.
Maven something.
Maven Sports.
Look, it's coming. I'm kind of glad I haven't finished it because the
Maven's
Mets story
baseball.
continues, baby. We're going. We're
Maven's
gonna
baseball.
keep
It's
going.
coming. No, you got it. Yeah, he said it might come to an end. I don't know. Maybe they at least got 2 more games to play in the wild card series, which is tomorrow
You know
and
what?
Wednesday.
We're gonna talk
so
about it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So I'll hold my remarks until later. But I've got feelings about the Mets.
The Tigers, they're in, baby. The Tigers are in. Twins out. Like I said, the Twins look terrible against the Marlins. They lost themselves the game. They looked bad, and honestly, they don't deserve it. The Tigers are hot right now. Watch out in the playoffs for the Tigers. They got that starter Scooble, who is gross. So I would hate to go up against him in a playoff series. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Watch out for the Tigers.
I mean, tell me, are we past the weekend series?
I'm just kind of going in and out here.
Okay, because I want to. I mean, I know we're gonna talk about like postseason, so I don't want to like get ahead of myself, you know?
Yeah. Did you have okay? All right. The Royals are in as well. I'm just saying. I'm going through the weekend series and the midweek and just looking at the games and what really mattered. The Mariners, they fought to stay in, but they ended up not making it. They did sweep the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's with their last ever series at the Coliseum. I saw people not stealing, but like taking some seats with them, some cup holders with them.
Yeah, that was sad to watch.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A lot of bad, sad stories there. Outside of that, I mean, everything else is kind of wrapped up.
Shaping up.
I'm ready
It's
to.
shaping up for postseason.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about it. You want to talk?
Okay.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Before we go though, that midweek series between the Dodgers and the Padres, that was a good series. That was a fun series to watch. Padres took the first game, second game, but all three games were pretty fun to watch. It was in LA. Oh, I thought I lost you for a second. It was in LA. It was good. The organist in LA, best organist in baseball in my opinion. Just a good series to watch, and maybe a little precursor to postseason baseball. You had a lot of series that could have been potential playoff series, like Mets and Braves, or that's really it. Oh, Orioles Yankees. That was another one as well. So
Yeah.
a lot of sneak peeks into what could be what we're gonna get into in the next couple of weeks. All right, so let's look at it. Actually, before we do that, I'm just gonna hold it like a carrot in front of everybody's face.
Yeah, for real.
At the beginning of the season, we made predictions, Lisa.
Yes, we did.
You want to go ahead and check out how these predictions
Let's
ended
do
up?
it, and let's do it quick.
Hey, there's no rush, girl. Ain't no
Yes,
rush.
there is.
Ain't no
Okay.
rush, baby. Go ahead.
I'm chomping at the bit to talk about the postseason.
I know.
So yeah.
We could gloss over it. We don't have to go into details, but I just thought it would be pretty interesting. I mean, we waited all year. We did preseason picks with our friend Brett.
Sure.
And let's start with the National League East. None of us got
Of course.
the winners right. But you did pick the last two teams in the league correctly, Lisa. That's all you, girl. We all had the Braves
Hey.
winning it. We thought, who could see the injuries happen? Disappointing years for the Braves, but the Phillies ended up winning and the Mets made it. And the Braves are still in the playoffs, so who knows? Maybe they could win. They could go on a run and win the World Series.
I'm proud of myself for putting the Mets as the middle, and I think without the power of Grimace and Lindor and whatever the hell else is going on, they probably would have been there. So I think that's still pretty accurate, regardless
And
of
props
where
to you.
they
You got the
finished.
Nationals right. Me and Brett had them in the cellar, but you had them right. The Nationals had a pretty good year. Let's look at the
Yeah.
National League Central. None of us got these teams right. You early preseason, not big on Brewers, but I'll give you credit. You've been all season, I think like 2 weeks into the season, maybe a month into the
Yeah.
season. You've been on the Brewers wave. I was
Yeah, I
on the
changed my
Cardinals.
tune pretty quick.
Yeah, I was on the Cardinals wave for a while until that didn't happen. So none of us got the Central right. Figures. This one.
Did we see? Is it a surprise to see the Pirates finishing last?
Not really. I don't know. Maybe. The Central was one of those divisions where it was just like anything can happen. Kind of. We even said that in the preseason episode. We said all 5 teams are kind of but the Brewers are good. National League West, we all had the division winner correct. We had the Los Angeles Dodgers. Me and Brett had the Padres second. You had the Padres fourth. You missed on that
Yeah,
one.
I
But
was all messed up.
I could definitely see that happening. I mean, we were all talked about in the first episode. Brett got the Diamondbacks third. Brett got the entire division right. That's pretty impressive.
Impressive.
Yeah, nice
Yeah.
job, Brett. Shout out, Brett. But we all three
Shout out,
had
Brett.
Rockies last. We all agreed on that. All right. American League East. This is where it gets interesting. Lisa rewarded for picking her team at number 1. She got the division champ right. Everyone else got every other team wrong except for me. I had Blue Jays in the cellar. We all overestimated the Rays.
Yes, we did.
Boston. We all underestimated Boston too. And I think I also said I could see Boston doing pretty well this year. But American League Central, let's check this out. Brett got the division winner. Me and you both had the Twins. The Twins ended up 4th.
Brett had the division winner and the division loser, which we were all able to predict would be the White Sox. Although I don't think any of us saw it happening quite like this. Shout out to White Sox fans. I'm so sorry.
I
Like,
kind of
this
had
was tough.
we had a little sneaky inclination that it could have happened though.
I don't think anyone foresaw it being a record-breaking bad year.
Yeah, no, like I think I said a few months ago, like it's hard to lose that bad. Like it's impressive that they lost that bad.
I agree. I agree.
Let's go ahead and look at the West, the American League West. Let's see how that panned out. I ended up getting the top three teams right, which, hey, shout out me. You guys were high on the Rangers coming off that World Series win. I said, I don't know about that. Put them at third. I was high on the Angels. I think we all three underestimated the A's, and they had a pretty decent year by their standards. They exceeded expectations. Angels, as always, not. I mean, their expectations are down just because they never exceed them. So, what do you make of the West, though? I mean, it shook up to be a lot different than what we thought. You thought the Astros were dead for the longest, and
Yeah, I'm looking at my predictions now, and I feel like, honestly, not having seen the baseball that was played in the last 162 games, I probably would have ranked them like this anyway. Coming off the Rangers World Series, not really expecting too much from the Mariners, kind of expecting a little bit more from the Angels, honestly. This is how I would have gone regardless. So, yeah, I thought the Astros were dead. Who knows? We'll talk about it soon. Am I right? Will I be right?
no. I mean, they're
Probably,
not dead. They're
probably,
definitely
probably
in the
not.
play. They're in the playoffs. They're not
They're
dead. They're
definitely in
host.
the playoffs. Will they make it that far post playoff, like into the playoffs? Well, I don't know, but
All
I'm
right.
sure we'll talk about it. So,
Lisa
yeah, I
says
wouldn't change
Lisa's
anything.
point here is that if the Astros don't win the World Series, then they're dead. Then she was
I
right
was
all
right
along.
all
Yeah,
along.
get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Well, just to wrap up our preseason predictions, I had two division. We all three actually, me, you, and Brett had two division winners picked correctly. We all had the Dodgers, and then the second one was mixed around. I had 8 total teams right. You had 6 total teams right, and Brett had 7 total teams right. So if you put it all together, combined, we had 21 total teams right from the three of us out of 30.
Oh,
My math
hey,
isn't math in there, but
not too bad, I guess. No, shout out to Brett. Nice picks. I'll try to be better next time, guys. I don't know. I'm taking a lot of Stephen A
look,
picks, I feel
it was
lately,
6,
so
7, and 8. It's not like you were terrible. It's not like you got 0.
I'm at the bottom. I don't like it. Okay.
Another thing you're at the bottom on, not to harp on it a little bit, but if we go to the prime time picks for the year, you finished 24 and 20. I was hoping you'd
I
get
know.
over 500.
I know. I was too. I was too. But it's hard to predict like I think if it was series, like who's gonna win this series, I think I actually could predict that because I think typically whoever I picked did win the series, but they
Yeah.
lost that game. And I'm
That
like, come on,
I'm gonna have to
guys.
fact check you on that. I think that's just a
Okay,
hunch you have that
go ahead.
whoever you picked won this series.
I
But
haven't seen the data yet, but that could be, I think I'm
I
right.
think you're
I think I'm
leaning
onto
on one
something.
game picks or just all skill. Maybe next year we can do the series, and that's what we're gonna do with the playoffs right now. But I think this
Oh,
is all
okay.
skill. I think this is all skill. Clearly, I'm 28 and 24. I could have been
Yeah.
better. Could have been better. Try to get the
Definitely
30
not like
wins.
there's any luck to it when you've got 162 games and you're guessing on like
No,
50 of them.
no,
But yeah,
no luck. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about the playoffs, baby. Because October's here. We're gonna talk about these
finally,
playoffs.
it feels, whenever we get to this point in the season, it feels like one, we were just here, and two, we've been playing baseball forever. And I'm not even playing the games. Like it feels like this has gone on my entire life. And also, we just did this last year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And we did just do this last year. It feels like we were just here. So
Yeah, it feels like I was just in Paris watching the World Series and going to the Eiffel Tower. It was weird.
well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not pick all of October, but let us talk about some of the series that we're going to see. All right, so we got 4 series, wild card series, and they happen tomorrow. The regular season just ended yesterday,
No
technically,
breaks.
on Sunday. Technically, it ended on Sunday,
Right.
but the Mets and Braves had a doubleheader today, so they played
Which,
2
like,
games.
by
Little,
the way,
little unfortunate for them.
yeah, I was thinking about this actually today. Like, should they? I mean, we've known that hurricane was coming for like a week. Should they have moved that game to New York
No,
for those
no, no, no,
games?
no, no, no. Definitely not that. It would at the very least it'd have to go neutral site because if you put it in the
Okay.
Braves' perspective, those are 2 home
Yeah,
games for them. You
true.
don't want to not play them at home. You want your crowd into it. So I
Gotcha.
think
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate circumstances. Someone, my Nate told me he was like, yeah, it's MLB kind of screwing the Mets, and I was like, wow, just like what can they do? They can't control the
But
weather.
I actually disagree. I don't think it's about screwing the Mets, but I do think in a weird way it worked out best for MLB because all the regular series games end or season games end, and then you've got this really contentious doubleheader that is the only baseball being played
Yeah,
today.
but
So, I mean, it kind of
it
worked.
was during the day. The best game was game one, and it was during the day.
Sure.
So I was
Yeah.
at work. I couldn't even watch it. I had to watch. I looked at the box score, and it was like 10 runs in the last 2 innings. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's look down at each series though. We got Detroit at Houston, and again, wild card series is best 2 out of 3, all 3 games at the home team, at the team with the higher record stadium. So you're on the road if you're
Right.
the worst team.
So the Tigers will be playing in Houston, or if we're talking about the American League, and the Royals will be playing in Baltimore.
You also got the Mets in Milwaukee and the Braves in San Diego. So out of these 4 series, Lisa, which one are you most excited for?
You know, actually,
You gonna
I
say none of them?
no, actually, what I was gonna say is all of them, and then I looked at the Braves one for a second, and I was like, "Am I excited for that one?" And then I was like, "No," because I'm excited for the Padres, so I am actually excited for all of them. I think we're finally at the point, and I think, look, I'm a casual fan. If you've been watching our show, you know that I am not the girly who's looking up stats or knows every single player. I know like one guy on every team, maybe, and I hope that's true. I hope he's actually still
We
with
need
that.
to test that one.
Yeah, I hope he's still with that
At
team.
the end of the
'cause
game,
sometimes
we might, or at the end of the game. I'm
the
referring
end
to
of
our
the season?
episodes as games now. No, at the end of the episode, I
Ugh.
might run you through 30 teams, like a
I feel like
speed
if
run.
I know like 3 players on one team, I should get like a
Bonus.
I should get like an out of jail card
Okay,
for another
okay,
team.
let's stay on track here. Let's stay on track.
Because like for a while, the only White Sox player I knew was Tommy Pham, and now he's not with them anymore. So like
Let's
I
stay
don't
on
know.
track.
Anyway, my point is that like as a casual fan, this feels like finally all the teams I've cared about all season are the only ones playing. Like
Well, the Tigers snuck in back door. I'm excited about that. I mean, you
no,
got to
but
have one team that's a sneaky team. That was the
I'm
Diamondbacks last year too. So watch out, Diamondbacks
I'm
World Series.
excited for if we want to start with maybe the Tigers Astros series.
Sure.
Um, I'll say, I'm excited for this one. I think to exactly your point just there, the Tigers snuck in. They're honestly, I mean, one of the teams I probably don't know any of the players. I feel like they've got a really young team, a young group of guys. I don't know if any of them have been to the playoffs. Contrast that to, this Astros team, what they've been to. They've been in postseason now for it feels like a decade. I mean,
Pretty much.
they've been
Pretty much.
yeah,
They've been in the
and
ALCS like 7 years in a row or something. 8 years in a row.
right. So you're looking at you've got it's really like the rookie versus like the veteran here, David
Mm-hmm.
and Goliath kind of feel in this series. So even though the Tigers might not have been a team that I was necessarily like following, I'm not surprised to find them here, and I'm also kind of excited to see how this one shapes out, especially as someone who's kind of been rooting for the downfall of the Astros. No shade, no tea, no offense to Astros fans, but just wanting a change up in this dynasty. I don't know if they're technically a dynasty, but in whatever's happening over there,
Call them a dynasty.
I think
American League dynasty. They're always in the
sure.
ALCS. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I'm excited to see what the Tigers can do. I'm not counting them out. I'm rooting for them when it comes to the Astros. What do you think?
Well, do you have them winning? I know you're rooting for them, but do you have them winning? It's 3 games, or best 2 out of 3 in Houston.
This is like a head and the heart situation, and
Isn't
I'm gonna
everything in
go
life that?
no, no. Sometimes your heart's not in it, but my heart is in this one, and I'm gonna go Tigers. Only, even though I really think I'm wrong, I'm gonna still go for them as a manifestation.
Okay. Now, before I start giving my picks,
But can I caveat that real quick?
I have no choice but to let you.
Okay, thank you. If the Tigers lose the first game, they're done.
Well, interesting that you say that. I went back and I looked at the wild card series has been happening for. Has it not been happening for 3 years? Am I crazy?
Is
Two-
it only
2 years,
two?
I guess.
Yeah,
2 years. No,
one.
no,
Is
you're
it the
right.
first
It's
time?
2 years. I'm crazy. 2 years. 2022 and 2023. I'm a little wonky. Here we go though. So the wild card series has been happening for that long. Since you've had 8 series since its inception. 7 of the 8 wild card series have ended in 2-game sweeps. Only one series last year. It was 2 years ago, Padres and Mets. They went 3 games. every single series so far, the winner of game 1 has went on to win the series. So game 1 is extremely important. I
Yeah,
think this
well,
year is when we see the trend get bucked. The
ooh.
Tigers are going to win game 1, and the Astros, with their playoff experience and their ultimate wisdom, are going to win the next 2 games. The reason I say that Tigers are going to win game 1, they got Scooble, their ace, going against Valdez, and I think that he's just going to shut the door. He might go 8 innings, 9 innings. I feel like he's going to have a monster game. I'm going to pick Tigers game 1, Astros the following 2 games. That's
You
my verdict.
might be onto something because I think isn't like Alvarez, he's out, right?
Is
Isn't
Jordan
he injured?
hurt?
Yeah, I think he's injured right now, which would, I
No,
mean,
I think
he's a big hitter,
yeah,
so
maybe. Yeah, he might be playing. I think he's playing.
this
Maybe.
is guys, this is me trying. Um,
I
so
think
okay, so
I think he's
you're
playing. I mean,
thinking,
they just got Kyle. The Astros just got Kyle Tucker back too, and he hit a bomb recently. I saw that. So, I mean, I take the Astros in here. Who are you going with?
no, I'm gonna go with the Tigers, like I
Okay,
said, just
that's
out of
right.
a wishful thinking. But yeah, if I see them lose game 1, then it's over.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
So Alvarez has been out with a knee injury since September 22nd, but he has a 50-50 chance to appear on the wild card roster. So you'd imagine
Ooh,
if it's 50-50 to appear, then even if he might be in a limited capacity. But even then,
like DH or something.
him in October is he hits bombs, especially at Minute Maid, the Astros ballpark. So watch out for that. I'm gonna go Astros. You went Tigers. We'll see how it cracks out. This is my favorite series. This is what I'm excited for. 2 teams with a lot of potential. The Orioles are great. We know the Orioles are great. The Royals have shown glimpses of greatness throughout the season. You got Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., the battle of the shortstops. Who is better? I'm going with Bobby Witt, baby. The Royals are going to march into Camden Yard. Jesus, what am I talking about? They're going to march into Camden Yards, and they're going to whoop up on the Orioles, and they're going to shock the world, and they're going to sweep the Orioles in 2 games, and they're going to silence that Baltimore crowd out there. Hey, Baltimore, it's okay, though. It's time to root for the Ravens. It's time to root for the Ravens. The Royals are
I
here,
don't
and Bobby Witt's
know.
coming to take your money.
So I agree with you. I think this, like I said, all these series are series to be excited about. There's not a dud on here, honestly. Maybe looking at the Braves, but not really. Um, this is a good one. This is gonna be a good one. Like you said, it's 2 teams. They've got, I think, fans have been waiting for, I think, both of these teams to be good for a long time. And like you said, they've got potential, right? There's been times when the Royals have been fantastic. Obviously, the Orioles are coming off having played very well last
And then
year.
they got blue balled
Um,
last year, too, so their fans are still hungry. They want to win. They want
they're
a playoff win.
ravenous. And they went ahead and did a documentary, even though they did get blue balled. So they're just looking like, I'm sorry, guys. It would be so cringe if like, I would blame the documentary, frankly. If you if you choked again this year, that's on you for doing that before you guys went farther. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it is.
Fair.
Um, so I think that um I'm gonna go with the Orioles for that reason. I think they're hungry. I think they want this. Um, and they were here last year, and I feel like they have something to prove. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Royals take it either. I'm just gonna go with Baltimore.
Okay. Okay, so we're different on the first 2 picks. This is
Yep.
crazy. This is crazy. Now, this is also probably my second favorite series. I mean, all 4 like you're right. All 4 series are great. It's just playoff baseball. This is what it's all about. We got the Mets going into Milwaukee. 3-game series for best 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee. The Brewers are hot. The Mets are there. They've been playing bad lately, but they've found a way to get in. And they got the power of Grimace. They got the power of Jose Iglesias. Oh my God. Oh
They
my
got
God.
Lindor doing whatever
They
black
got
magic he needs to
Lindor.
do to make them win.
Possible MVP Lindor. Who knows? They got the polar bear
Right.
at first base in what could be his last year ever for the New York Mets.
They got Harrison Bader.
They got Harrison Bader. They got the Diesel Bros. I don't think it's going to be enough. I want it to be. I want the Mets to win so bad. Frank the Tank, for the first time, said today that he has hope for this team. That
Oh no.
what he saw today has made him have hope for the team. But I think that now they could prove, if they win this series, they win the World Series. If they win this series against the Brewers, they win the World Series. I don't think they will though. I'm gonna go with the Brewers
Oh
in two.
man, this is tough.
Brewers
This
in
is
two.
tough, tough, tough. Because I want obviously, as you guys know, I did not pick the Brewers early on. Well, like the first day early on. But then, within the first month, I was pretty much like hopped on the Brewers, hopped, get it, onto the Brewers train, and I was
I
like,
just got it. It was a
you
little
just got
delay. It was a little delay.
there's lag, there's lag.
Yeah, they lagged. My
Um,
bad.
I hopped on and now I'm all in for the Brewers. However, I am a girl who loves chaos. I'm here for the plot, okay? I want the most ridiculous thing that could happen to be the thing that happens. This is why, even though I'm a huge Otani and Betts fan, I've been kind of rooting for the Dodgers not to make it because I just thought that would be hilarious. Flip side, looking at the Mets, it would be insane for the Mets and to keep going. And like you said, if they somehow come out of this series, like they might actually win the World Series, we should all be concerned. And I kind of want that because I think it would just be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen happen in baseball in my lifetime, as since I've been paying attention really hard. Um, Plus, I think it also would be great to see a Subway Series World Series. I know that there's controversy, like some people might not like that. That's fine. I think it would be fantastic.
49 other
So
states may not like that.
that's, you know what? But they're gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch.
So God, this is a really tough one for me. Do I have to make a pick? Because I kind of don't wanna.
It's like picking between your two children. Because you used to hate the
Yeah.
Mets. You used to thought the Mets were cringy, but I think the more you saw Grimace, the more you heard, "Oh my God," you just kind of
No,
you
here's the
had to
thing.
rock with them.
This is what I'm trying to explain to you about my psyche. I still think all of that is cringy, but I just love how ridiculous it is, and I want it to keep going, even though I think it's insane. Does
So
that make sense?
yes, but it has come to that time of the year where you must pick 10
Uh,
teams and
um,
wait, can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 teams enter. Only one may leave.
I'm gonna. Uh,
Do 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 do
yeah,
do
I'm gonna go
do
with the
do.
Mets.
Oh my God! You bet you screwed up the Brewers. You're not gonna root for the Brewers. Okay.
No, I am. I don't
I'm
know.
excited.
I'm
This is
so
gonna be a
conflicted.
great. We're getting really good matchups right off the bat. I'm excited for
We
these.
are. We are. We really are. And that you know that because of how obvious in pain I am at having to choose one of these two teams to root for.
Yeah.
It's sad to me that I'm going to lose one of them to
We'll
this.
see. A
But
Mets and Phillies matchup in NLDS would be really good. It would feed families. Let's
but
go
a
ahead.
Brewers Phillies matchup would also because
Mets and
I
Phillies are a
would
bigger rivalry to me. I think that would be good.
no, that's fine, but I would love to see the Phillies taken down by someone like the Brewers.
All right.
Just me.
That's just you,
All
girl.
right. Just
Yep.
me. That look, I'm just a girl.
The
I'm
next
just a
series
girl.
we got here is the last one. Padres and Braves. Braves at San Diego. The San Diego crowd is back in the playoffs again. It's gonna be electric. It's gonna be fun. I don't know if you've seen the Padres crowd kind of get after. I've showed you some highlights of that Dodger series they
Yeah,
had. The
I've seen
Padres
some
crowd gets
highlights.
into it. It is one of the most fun baseball games to watch in my opinion on TV because that fan base just gets into it. Braves at San Diego. Who's going to win that one? The Braves just barely made the playoffs after winning game 2 today against the Mets. Now they got to go from Atlanta and fly all the way to San Diego and play their game tomorrow. So, and again, whoever wins game 1 has won the series 100% of the time. So, are the
I
Braves
think
going to be road warriors and go in there and beat San Diego?
so. I'm going for the Padres. I want a Padres Dodgers series. I think we're owed that. I think if there's justice in this world, then that's what we will see because it's what God intended. And if we don't see that, then there's other things at play here that we should be praying for.
Grimace.
Um, that said, thanks. Thanks, I feel like if I start whipping out the Bible, I'm talking about Grimace. Um, but that said, I think the Braves scare me in the sense of they feel like even more like the roach you can't kill than the Astros. Like
I would disagree with that only because the Phillies killed them last year. Remember Bryce Harper hitting the home run, staring at Arcia?
yeah, you're right. But I just mean this season. Like this season they had oh my God, I'm spacing on his name.
Acuna.
Acuna got hurt. We didn't,
Half their
we didn't think
pitching
he was gonna.
staff. No Chris Sale, who was one of the best trades I think this year. Their
They've
starting
had
pitching is decimated.
they've had thing after thing that like
Great word,
we
by the
never
way.
really thought it would affect them that badly because they are the Braves. They play good baseball, but you didn't think they'd go that far either, and or you wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. And now they're still here, and I'm like, what are we doing here? So, um, granted, I'd probably have been more concerned if it was the Diamondbacks, just because of Diamondback postseason play is always concerning. So I'm gonna go Padres, but I'm not. But I'm scared.
I'm gonna go Padres. I think that Jackson Merrill is gonna win Rookie of the Year. I think he should win Rookie of the Year over Paul Skeens. I don't know if you believe
Oh,
that.
good luck.
Jackson Merrill
I
has
don't.
been so good for the Padres. He has had so many late inning home runs. It's going to be a big 2 games out of Jackson Merrill. This is only going to last 2 games. The Padres are going to win in 2. And this is going to if you're not put on a Jackson Merrill yet, this whole October run is going to be the Jackson Merrill story. You watch.
I just think that I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not gonna ride for Paul Skeens at any point. I mean, I'm sure he's a great person. I just feel like the hype's a little bit much. But I think because the hype is so much,
He
you're not
shouldn't
gonna
win
get
it.
away with.
You shouldn't win Rookie of the
That's
Year because of hype.
I'm
Jackson Merrill
just
wins it.
I'm not saying that it's right. I'm
I know.
just saying that is probably gonna win
If
because of the
Jackson Merrill
hype,
doesn't
and
win
I can
Rookie of
kind
the
of see
Year,
it.
I'm rioting. I'm storming the Capitol. If
Okay,
Jackson Merrill,
right of one.
I'm actually storming Cooperstown. If Jackson Merrill doesn't win Rookie of the Year, I'm storming Cooperstown.
You will just look like a
I
very,
invite
very
everyone watching.
excited.
I invite everyone watching to come storm
Please
Cooperstown with
don't.
me.
Don't. We can't. Don't incite violence on this.
I didn't say
on this
we're just gonna
channel.
storm Cooperstown. I didn't say
What is
violence.
okay?
I'm gonna storm it. I don't know. Just storm the field. Storm Cooperstown. All right.
So I think that wraps up our wild card series. We'll have to wait to see what happens and who the Yankees, Guardians, Phillies, and Dodgers will be playing.
And we'll find out soon because it'll move quick. We got games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, back to back to back. It's going to go quick. So by Friday, we're going to know who's playing who. And even maybe as early as Thursday, we're going to know who's playing who. But I wanted to ask you when it comes to the wild card, do we have an issue with the game times here? Like, these are series that I want to watch. And when you look at when these series are, let's just go ahead and look at it. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Let me slow this down on my end so I can see Tuesday, October 1st. We got Game 1's at 2:30, and that's Detroit and Houston.
2:32 to be exact.
Yes, sorry. I apologize. It's going to be 1:30 Houston time. I mean, they act like people don't work. I think this is a bad move by I mean, I understand it's because ESPN bought the rights to the wild card series, so they want to have it on their networks. But I just feel like in order for baseball to market their game, market their sport, you need to put the games on at a time where people can watch them. I mean, Kansas City, Baltimore is a great series, and it's at 4 o'clock. I'm going to miss half the game.
Buddy, sir, pal, friend. Who are you talking to? Have been clamoring about how baseball is freaking unwatchable. Okay? You're exactly right. In terms of like with blackouts and times.
I was
and
gonna
all
say, girl,
this
this is great sport.
No, and this is exactly the kind of crap that I'm talking about. Why is there a game at 2:32? Like
1:30 local time.
1:30 local time. Okay, fantastic. Like 4 o'clock. Oh, I'm so happy I can watch this game on a random Tuesday because it's not like I have anything else to do tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
in my opinion, they should have put it at 6 p.m. Two games at each time slot. 6 p.m.
Yeah,
and 8:30. 6 p.m. and 8:30, in my opinion. Now, maybe that wouldn't have worked.
I totally agree.
Maybe that wouldn't have worked because games aren't going to last 2.5 hours, so...
No, I mean, I think it comes down to they probably got more money for doing it this way, and so that's what they went, and they don't really care about people watching the game or being excited about this kind of stuff, which is the problem. And I only say that because that seems to be the kind of decisions that they continue to make. It's like, what makes us the most money right now today? I don't really care if people are that invested in these games.
What's even tougher too is that it's a weekend game. Or I'm sorry, it's not on the weekend. So if it was on a weekend, that would be all right because then, I mean, everyone's at home. You have it all day long, and that's what they do for the ALDS usually. But even during the middle of the week, it's gonna be tough to watch, and it's a pain in the neck for some of the fans because sometimes they didn't release the times until today or yesterday, I believe. So imagine trying to get a ticket or call off of work.
It was worse. Was it 2 years ago when the Rays were
Yeah,
in and they didn't even release the times until like
the day
the
of
night
or night
before or
before or
something? Yeah,
something.
or
Yeah,
the day of, it was crazy. So yeah, I mean, they always do this. And here's the other thing too, just looking at now, this is me switching on the marketing brain. I mean, you're also competing with fall at the point in the season where we're at. So like even an all Sunday thing, probably, I mean, Sunday night games would be hard for sure. Saturday you're competing with college football. So it's just I understand they're kind of between a rock and a hard place here, but this just doesn't seem
if your
like the
if
right
your
thing to do.
playoffs aren't good enough to win fans over from other sports regular season games, there's a bigger problem than your time slots. And I think baseball might be having to address some of that stuff if that is the case. Because like me, I'll watch
I
playoff
think
baseball over some NFL stuff. Like we just gotta. A lot of that comes with marketing your players, marketing the storylines, marketing the teams. I mean, we got some great storylines here. Like I said, the battle of the shortstops between Kansas City and Baltimore. You got Atlanta and the Mets. Actually, this isn't even updated because this is showing
yeah,
the
this shows
possibilities.
this was before games. So.
Yeah, but at least we have the times on there.
No,
But
I think it is. I think it is a problem that they need to address. I also think that, for better or for worse, the way that fantasy football is, I think that's why you get so many people caring about these like really random like regular season games for football and stuff.
yeah,
And the fact that throughout the year they've played 162 games. My bet, if you're a person watching this, thank you, by the way, for still being here. I know we've been going on for a little while. My bet is that you probably haven't been able to see a lot of those games if you're in a certain network or if you don't have access to like a certain subscription or something. That's a problem. How are we going to get these fans excited about their teams being in the postseason or excited about any of these storylines that we've been following if they can't even have access to them? Like, I don't mean to get on a soapbox, but this has just been a problem I've had with baseball for a long time, and seeing this kind of crap at the end of the season always pisses me off.
yeah. Well, it just is what it is. We have a lot of games to play, so it makes sense. Now, one thing that I'll tell you, I'll probably be at work watching it on my phone. All right, it's time for your favorite part of the show.
It's time for fair or foul.
We got great news for the All-Star game. It's going back to, and we talked about it, the American League and National League teams are going to go back to wearing their actual team's jersey instead of the All-Star uniform. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to say it right now, fair. Let's go.
Yeah, totally fair. I'm really excited for this. I think this helps actually address some of the problems that we were just talking about. Marketing your players, getting people excited about storylines within the leagues and with the teams. Like, it's a lot more fun to watch. And as a casual viewer, it exposes me to a lot more players. Like, I might watch because I'm like,
and teams.
right. I might watch and say like, oh, I know Judge is going to be there. I want to watch this game. Or Soto is going to be playing too, and I want to watch them. And then I see someone. I'm just saying this because he's on the photo, but like I see Mike Trout, and maybe I've never paid attention to the Angels, but now I'm like, oh, I
But
like
now
that
you know
guy
he's
too.
on the Angels. It's not just a hat showing him. Yeah, I think this is
Exactly.
sweet. I think we both think this is fair. The next one
Totally.
we got here, we got Ian Happ. So he ended up buying some fans over in the left field bleachers at Wrigley, bought them or gave them like $300 and said, this is for, the bar tab in left field. Like, this is for beers on me. Thanks for the support all season. Beers for the left field crew on me. Signed the ball and threw it up to him.
Is this from our boots on the ground? Is that Levi's hands
That's not
that I see?
maybe. Levi, we need you to confirm yes or no if that's you right there. If it's Levi, I know he's not buying the beers. He's probably pocketing the cash and investing it. You know how the Fed boys are.
Oh, I know.
Probably putting it
Yeah,
in
and you know what? Actually, it might have been Levi that threw the money over because I don't think he believes in inflation, and I don't know that $300 is enough to buy beer at a stadium anymore. So, I mean, I don't know.
That's crazy. Levi, can you please confirm whether or not you believe in inflation?
Yeah, Levi, defend yourself in the comments.
Please. All right. Fair. I think this is fair. I'll say it.
No, it's fun.
It's so cool. I think this is an interaction that is very unique to Wrigley, man. I mean, we sat there, and you could kind of feel like you're part of the team. You're part of the family. when you go to Wrigley games. When you go out there and sit in the bleachers, I mean, it feels like you're just sitting in left field, like you're just there. You're like a part of the game there. It's a very familiar feeling there at Wrigley. I'm a fan of that park. I'm a fan of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the kind of stuff that's very unique to baseball in general, right? Like you've got fans are close to the players. They're interacting with them a lot. You know, it's not like a football game where they're all wearing helmets and you're really far away. Like you could really actually get on somebody's nerves. Like they can hear you from outfield, if you're right on the fence like this. So, I mean, I think this is just unique to baseball. It's fun to see. I have more questions about how the money was attached to the ball. Like I have just
tape.
a lot of physics.
I'm thinking tape. It's got to be tape.
I'm thinking tape. Yeah. Obviously he planned it before. Like I just think this is so cute. I love this. This is
Also,
what I
Ian
love about
Happ,
baseball.
come on, dog. Like only $300, bro.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like clearly this man has not bought a beer at a baseball game
I'm not
in a
even saying
minute.
that, dude. Hey, pinch over a little more, man. You big leaguer.
It's like $20.
Brother's a big leaguer, man. Yeah. You know how many people sit out in left field? Come on now. That's maybe beer for like 10
Well,
people.
here's the thing. If he gives them too much money, someone's gonna pocket it. So it has to be just enough to actually buy a few rounds.
Are you kidding me?
And
If he throws that ball up and someone catches it and they try to pocket like $3,000, yeah, you're getting socked in the mouth by the entire left field crew.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like $300 is enough for a few beers and a fun story. 1,000, I'm going home with that.
Oh, you're crazy. If Ian Happ gives you 1,000, you're spending it. I might buy a whole section. Dogs too. We might
Everybody's
get beer
getting
and
hot dogs.
Beer and dogs.
You're gonna be dogs from heaven.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah. Also, is that like allowed? Is MLB like? I feel like MLB would look down on that, but I mean, I like it. Let's not get bureaucratic here, MLB.
If Taylor Swift can do it, then this guy can do it too.
Taylor Swift did it?
Yeah, she gives money to fans all the time.
I got to go to a Taylor Swift concert. I need some bread. All right, that's all I got. I'm excited for playoff baseball tomorrow. Rest in peace, Pete Rose. Hopefully, in the name of Pete Rose, this might be the best October we've ever witnessed. I really hope so.
Well, I'll say this. It's definitely the best show we've ever had.
This has been the best show we've ever had.
And yeah, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Maven Sports, apologize for getting that wrong. I'm sure I did not
Maven's
look
baseball.
it up.
You just got it wrong
Maven's
again.
baseball. Watch out for the
You
Mets
just got
video.
it wrong
The
again.
Mets. The Mets.
Bro, we
story
got like 5
continues.
fans. There's no way you can mess up their names. We got 5 fans.
It's late. Okay, we record these in the
This
middle
has been
of the
a later
night.
one. This has been a later one.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still here, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I don't know why you're here, but please do that. And
If you've watched at least 40 minutes of this, 50 minutes of this, and you haven't subscribed, you know what?
I don't
like you. I don't like you.
I don't know what to say.
Subscribe.
I don't know what to say. Subscribe. Please subscribe. And yeah,
Come
we'll
back
see you
Friday.
soon because
Come back Friday.
we'll be here. We're in the postseason, and we're getting ready for the postseason, which is
No. We're getting ready for the postseason. We worry about the postseason when it arrives. We're good.
all right,
It's
okay.
October baseball.
All right, well, see you Friday.
Peace.
Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling differently. Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more